Good morning. Welcome to Community Voice. I'm your host, Keith Parris, and I want to thank everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Community Voice. I'm your host, Keith Parris. I want to thank everybody for joining us this morning. Got a little high. Hi.
Well, I don't understand.
Sound like Mickey Mouse.
Is that when you get excited, or what causes that?
I got a. Let me give you some inside baseball. You know, a lot of times when you see those preachers up and they're singing before they start, well, they're doing a couple of things. You know, try to get people emotionally lathered. The other thing is you're trying to find your bearings, trying to get that voice where you need it to be. And so I don't do any kind of warm up. I just start the program.
Well, on your way in, as you're driving, you maybe could do some voice exercises.
I was listening to Poison on the way in.
But that's quiet time, though. I mean,
that girl is poison.
Yeah.
Man, that's a true. That's kind of real talk for me, man.
Really?
Yeah. When I was in college,
your wife has been poisoned to you?
No. Never trust a big butt and a smile. Fell in love with a woman from behind.
Are we Mike Policy?
The smile, yeah.
Hey, man, you got the PE on, man. You see that? Am I supposed to be turning his mic on?
Yeah, we get him, man.
Part of the show.
Are we straight?
I'm good.
You know we on video. You are dressing. We on video. You taking everything you're supposed to do that, man, before you get on video.
It is what it is.
DJ the Pro. Talk much. DJ the Pro.
Jeez, you're having real trouble.
DJ the Protege. It's Free Flow Friday. Oh, I get that out though. Every week I'm struggling with that. Right. I got out. So anyway, let me thank everybody for joining the program. Today is Friday. Thank God it's Friday. I was talking to Ebony out in the waiting room, and she said, "Keith, it's Friday," and I was coming up with all the songs. Let's see, "Living for the Weekend." It's Friday night. Just got paid, right? Do you think of any other weekend songs?
Not at the top of my head right now.
Oh man, that was a nice little OJ song, Living for the Weekend.
Sir Charles Jones.
Which one?
Friday. It's Friday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I played that.
Yeah. And then from an awful movie, Donna Summers was in. They're trying to capitalize after Saturday Night Fever. Remember, it's Saturday, whatever. It's Friday night, and thank God it's Friday. So anyway, I know a lot of people, you know, if it's a payday Friday, you know, then you kind of go out and do the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me do my wife. She compared me to Donald Trump.
Damn.
I know.
Ooh.
She compared me to Donald Trump. And she said, we were talking yesterday, they were talking about James Earl Jones and The Voice, right?
Mm-hmm.
and someone called in and mentioned Vincent Price. And many people now get, because, I love movies. I go back to Vincent Price, back to the 40s and 50s when he was doing movies.
The Raven.
The Raven, yeah, he did Edgar Allan Poe, The Pit, the Pendulum, and the movie I mentioned was Laura, with Gene Tierney and Dana Andrews and Vincent Price. And Vincent Price is just, can I say he's priceless in that movie? He's just, this dude is a gigolo. I mean, he got the whole thing going on. Two things though. Today is Friday the 13th. So when the caller called in, he talked about Vincent Price being the voice of Thriller, right? Mm-hmm. That's when you begin to hear that's Vincent Price. But for all you 60s and 70s babies, if you can remember the Batman TV series, what role did Vincent Price play in the Batman TV series with Adam West and Burt Ward?
Wasn't he the Joker?
No, the Joker was Cesar Romero.
But he was made up. What was
he was made up. So if anybody knows that, which is like one of my favorite, just escapism, the Riddler was Frank Gorshin.
Jeez, man, I can't remember what he played then, because I remember him being on there though.
Who did Eartha Kitt play?
Catwoman.
She wasn't my favorite Catwoman.
Everybody remember her just from her.
Julie Newmar was my favorite Catwoman.
The Christmas song. Santa Baby. Mm-hmm. Oh, and then
Marquez.
Yeah, up on Boomerang. One of my favorite movies.
All right. What role did Vincent Price play in the original, in the TV series Batman? So we got Frank Gorshin. Who played the Penguin? That's Burgess Meredith.
We got a caller.
All right. Caller, welcome to the program.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You on air? Okay. You're on air.
Vincent Price played Egghead.
He sure did. She sure did. He played Egghead. Yes, he did. Thank you for that. You watched Batman?
Yeah, I watched Batman.
And then Cliff Robinson played Shane. There were 3 Catwomans, though. Mm-hmm. Julie Newmar, Eartha Kitt.
Eartha Kitt, I like her.
Yeah, everybody like you. Well, I know black people just love Eartha Kitt. I just thought Julie Newmar, I think the chemistry she had with Batman, and they almost get together, and then something would happen, and it just never made it happen. And but a lot of people loved Eartha Kitt in that role, Yep. So that's Vincent Price. He did play Egghead. There was a character actor who played Mr. Freeze. What's his name? I'll come up with his name. I'm trying to think of the other villains they had on there. Tallulah Bankhead played the Black Widow.
I just remember the movie where Arnold Schwarzenegger played Mr. Freeze
in the movie.
I was real little then.
Right. There was 2 Riddlers though, right? One guy was Enigma. That was what's his name?
Riddler. Did he have red hair?
Yeah, but what's his name? God, I can't think of the dude's name. Came out of The Living Color, became a big star, white dude.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, wasn't that many.
Only person I remember is Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey was a Riddler?
Yeah, he played.
His name was
Enigma. Remember his last name was Enigma?
He sure was.
Yep.
Dang.
Yep.
Now he blew up in the 90s.
Yep.
Because The Mask.
Yep. Danny DeVito did Penguin.
Wasn't he on Dumb and Dumber too? Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
He just blew up in
Dumb and Dumber is a funny movie. It's a funny movie, man. I love Dumb and Dumber. I hated the second one, but there's always risk in one doing sequels and one doing a movie after that. But that scene where they served the dude the peppers, he had the ulcers.
I didn't watch Dumb and Dumber.
You ever see Dumb and Dumber?
No, I just know of the movie.
Yeah. Trying to think who else. Let's see. 2 people played the Joker in the movie. The original was Jack Nicholson.
Remember him?
And then the second one was no, it's 3 because didn't River Phoenix's brother played? I think they did a whole movie called The Joker.
Okay.
But the guy who died, Heath Ledger.
Oh yeah, that was in Dark Knight.
Dark Knight, yeah, and he won an Academy Award for that. But man,
Yeah.
he took. I mean, I know that they purposely made Batman dark, but man, Heath Ledger took you to a place. It was dark. You could see why he won the Academy Award for that. Yeah, I mean, dude was, all right. So I had to do that little cleanup. I was geeking, and my wife was comparing me again to Donald Trump, how he'll start talking about something and then he'll just go over here and go over
I
here,
do that.
over here.
I wouldn't want to be compared to him just because I did that.
You watched the debate?
Yep.
What do you think?
I think it was I mean, you knew what you was gonna get from the other side. Vice President Harris, she was okay. She wasn't spectacular to me. But she definitely she definitely set him up a couple times. Just for him to veer off and to that point and just get to talking about a whole bunch of other stuff. I want to say that she did spend a little too much time trying to throw darts a little bit, but for them, I mean, she was okay. Like I said,
So if you rated her performance 1 to 10?
1 to 10, I give her a 7.
Okay.
She was straight.
It was better than her last debates when she was running for president. So
you know that she looked more prepared than her opponent, but that's not saying much, right?
Yeah.
It's not, I think that being prepared is extremely important, but also you have to take into account the opposition. And so yeah, she was more prepared, but
I think the other thing is how many negative sound bites came out of that debate and who was those negative sound bites attributed to, and most of them, the negative ones, went to Trump.
Right.
He
made me laugh a couple times, but it's just his normal just goofy.
And I was, self. And I agree with you in part because the point I was making on Wednesday was, well, I mean, really, she really had a low bar because she just didn't have to look like Joe Biden,
right?
Who in June looked like he was getting ready to die. And so now you looking at the choice between two old white men,
right?
Who look more vigorous. But I think she exposed him. Not that there's much left that we don't know about this dude.
Yeah.
But I think she exposed him on a lot of different levels. I was reading this morning. I did watch, because normally what I do is after these, whether it's the Democratic National Convention, the Republican National Convention, the debates, is to go to as many news outlets as I can to see what the reactions were. And there was an article this morning, I think it was in the it was in the Washington Post, that said that Fox was trying to clean up Trump's mess. But even then, it's going to be pretty difficult.
President Biden was so bad that, if you didn't stumble across your words, which shouldn't even be a criteria, but, if you didn't stumble across your words, you seemingly looked better and performed better and won. Now, obviously, you have to articulate yourself in a manner to where it is effective. But he just had a terrible debate, and obviously, it was so bad that everyone from the Democratic side had to acknowledge that. We interviewed Wes Moore.
Yeah, Wes Moore,
governor of Maryland, and he said, "Look, obviously, that wasn't President Biden in the best light." So even he had to acknowledge that which he had to acknowledge the obvious. I don't think that the Republican side acknowledges the obvious though. Like I was looking at Marco Rubio, and I was just like, what are you talking about?
Well, it's called spin. But like I pointed out, the fact that he had to go to the spin room, I can't think of the last candidate who ever went into a spin room. And it could have happened. I don't remember seeing it happen. I mean, he was there right after the debate because in spite of his denial, I think he knew that, we're going to have to get out. And to the point where it put Byron Donald on a real tough situation. Some things you just can't. And that's why I appreciate the Dems in this case, because I don't know if people remember, right after the debate, the first debate between Biden and Trump, Vice President Harris was on CNN. And it was just like they didn't run from it. I don't think you should. I think the other piece of it is accept the reality. And I know I get people who push back, say it shouldn't matter. It does matter.
What should matter?
What people see, because it was a televised debate. Obviously, is a visual, right? So
I mean, that clearly matters. I mean, a lot of people vote based off of appearance. Yeah.
I mean, it's so for people to say it don't matter, it might not matter maybe to you, but I think it does matter. And when we drill down, it matters. It mattered in 2008 that Barack Obama was black. And for a lot of black people, that mattered. And for us to act as if it didn't, we're deceiving ourselves. Well, white people too. But then at the same time, and here's the laws of equal and opposite effects, that if you have people who are strongly supporting a candidate because he's black, you're going to have people strongly supporting a candidate because he's white.
Right.
Okay. And whatever that represents to you, whiteness represents certain things to certain folks. Blackness represents certain things to certain folks. And so it comes down to it. And so we'll see what happens. She raised $47 million. Money won't be an issue for her.
Well, there won't be another debate. So
you think he might not change? He might change his mind though.
He said he's not doing it.
I think if she calls him punk enough.
I mean, he's been called a lot of names anyway.
No, but I'm saying if she kind of gets to him where she goes, because like I said, the one thing that he's vulnerable with is his ego. And so that's like when she went into crowd size. Oh man.
Right.
That was, ooh.
They don't even go to her. They don't even go to her rallies.
Right.
And the people that do go.
And the crazy thing is
she pays them.
The very thing he said didn't happen, she said happened. Yesterday, she did a speech in Charlotte, North Carolina, and then I think she went to Greensboro. He was in Arizona. So MSNBC, CNN, Newsmax, and Fox showed her rally. And then Newsmax, Fox showed his rally. And first of all, she filled up an arena. He had a theater. And he was getting on doing his thing to the point that Fox just cut him off. They just cut away from him.
Right.
Just like
he be talking.
He's just talking, man. And
I think I don't know. I want to say it was his rally right after he had got shot. So it's after the RNC.
Wasn't that here? Wasn't it in Wisconsin? Didn't he come?
No, I thought it was another one.
Okay.
But they had him talking for about like 2 to 3 hours straight. And he
was in Racine.
That was here, okay.
Kenosha. He was in Kenosha because it was hot. I was amazed that he was out there for an hour and a half in the heat.
No, the one I'm talking, it was longer than that. It was like 2 to 3 hours. He was talking.
He's just talking, and and then people were leaving.
And they didn't cut to commercial break. That was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, this dude. So, and I appreciate people's frustration. I'm hearing it every day. Someone very close to me said, I don't see how people can support him. And I'm going, because everybody ain't you and me.
Right.
and their view of the world is probably very different than my view of the world. I think it's indicative, though, of kind of where we are in the country. And I think he's trying to set it up if he loses, for there to be more chaos and carnage. He won't accept it, and because people have been able to kind of spin these January 6 people, trying to make them sound like they are patriots and political prisoners, and the whole thing. He talked about the woman who got shot. He put her in a position to get shot.
Yeah.
And so real interesting. I think the other piece that's taken away the fact that people were talking about cats and dogs and geese and not about any policy position, though.
Why did he say she shouldn't have gotten shot? Didn't he say there should have been charges against the officer who shot her or something like that?
He was, yeah. And I think the fact that the officer who shot her was black and she was a white woman, I think that's what he was appealing to. Because right after it happened, he wanted to expose who that officer was with the Capitol Police, because he knows what his minions will do. To the point now that I just saw a report where it is very difficult in certain areas for people to recruit poll workers because they're so fearful of the fact that they're going to be going after people, going to go after them. It's you can't believe that this has happened in 21st century America, but in fact it is. And
but people are gullible though, and if someone says it on TV, then people automatically think that it's true.
That's what he said when he was talking about it. He said, well, a guy said it on TV. I don't make it credible.
People eating animals, pets.
Yeah. I mean, and it could be true, but we're not from that culture.
No, but when
because he was talking about the immigrant, like them people from Venezuela.
Some chickens came up missing.
Yeah, but the moderator said to him, "We reached out to
Springfield,
and they have no reports."
Right.
Well, it was on TV.
All right.
And again, we're not from
this is
that.
Who you want leading your country? It was on TV.
We're not from that culture, but again, to just be saying that on a national platform as if it's fact, and you don't have the proof to cite your sources.
I was listening to you guys. I was in my office taking care of something, but 39 and 1.
No, 39 was the first one. 33 in the second one. You talking about the number of lies?
No, they said 39.
Well, they added 6 more because it was 33 to 1.
No, yeah, she had 1.
She had 1. He had like 33.
Well, the last report I got was 39.
What was she lying? What she lie about?
I don't even know which one she told.
And that's
the
why I
fact
said
that you're in a political debate and there's some lying going on. Come on, you.
But it's politics though, and I talked about this last week where, Debo, you brought up the issue of character and integrity, and things should be right in a sense, and I'm like, there's no integrity or character in politics. There's never been.
Well,
Even when things, it's never been, and even when like now things are just more out in the.
You don't think Barack Obama had character?
We don't know,
Integrity?
but that's my point. Now things are in the forefront where we visibly see the lack of character, but people talk about backdoor deals or closed door deals all the time.
Was there any question about Jimmy Carter's character?
No, not for me. But now, if you ask me the same question about a George Bush, George Bush, the son,
Richard Nixon,
but this is the point that I brought up last week too. This is the point that I brought up last week too. That may be the face, but who was their handlers? Who are the people that are there? A right-hand man, or the people who are behind the scenes, that their character
like
could
Trump
be.
Got a new girlfriend, Miss Loomer. She's traveling with him, and much to the chagrin, I guess he kind of kicked Marjorie Taylor Greene to the curb, and to the point that her little feelings were hurt, and she was saying this woman is a real threat.
I mean, she goofy too.
Yeah,
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
So if this woman is more extreme than Margaret Taylor Greene, this woman is pretty extreme.
Caller, thank you for your patience. You're on there.
Good morning.
Hello?
Yep, you're on there.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Yeah, quite interesting. Donald Trump basically is informed to try to save his butt from taxes. Okay, he didn't got caught being a scammer. Okay, now why would they want a gambler in a what you call a headquarter man that runs gambling and tricks folks with different strategies? Okay, he been playing poker, and what he do? He looks and see what is on the table, and then he try to go around it and make up something to dissolve it. Now, when he was asked by Kamala about what did he have, he said he had concepts. How the heck you gonna have concepts and you've been away for 4 years and you don't have anything written up because Paul Ryan took his book back. See, they was going off of Paul Ryan book that Scott Walker helped promote. Okay, and the only reason why Tommy Thompson is back around here is because he helped Bush get in. Okay, if you remember on 32nd in Hampton, there was a building that this preacher bought, the abandoned buildings, and Tommy Thompson busted people from Kenosha and had them coming in and doing the ballots, and they caught him. So they set the building on fire and sold it to one of the common council's brother. I think it was Willie Hines' brother, one of them, and they was demanded to tear it down real quick to have the cover up, but that building is still sitting up there, right on 32nd and Hampton. So therefore,
family. That building,
it's not,
that building is Holy Redeemer's building.
Well, it's Holy Redeemer, but the Common Council was actually assisting where these preachers could buy these properties, and they threw that to them real quick because it was a cover up that needed to be torn down because Tommy Thompson used it within that strategy. Okay, so maybe yes, I got the wrong church. Okay, but they're so still fraudly in that too. So therefore, it was this thing that reform came from Tommy Thompson. Okay, his whole thing was to change Wisconsin from a welfare state to a prison state. But the only way they was able to do that is to try to mimic or to make afraid of that this is the Republican takeover state now. And then they made a lame dunk section. Scott Walker was a little baby about losing just as well. So he threw and rewritten all the doggone rights for the number one main state is Wisconsin to win over, because most states usually go about what Wisconsin come up with, okay, within fashion of government, okay? And only way that they could do that if they take the first state, the big state that's from Canada location, okay, is to take that first, and then if you notice, we always to highlight the win. They have to win us, period. So that's why they were strategizing in Wisconsin to try to remove certain jurisdiction boundaries so the Republicans can make like that they have more and try to make more votes in their area when they had tried to make areas that wasn't even valid for anybody that was living in that area that they tried to use. Okay. But the thing is that Donald Trump is basically trying to save his money. He's trying to stop him being put in jail. All the Republicans that's with him should be in jail because they rode and ride with him and jump off the bandwagon when he was being impeached. Okay. Secondly, is that they're back again, and now they try to distance themselves, but they praised him back through the election, and all of them supported him until he got to talking crazy again. If you don't know, that is what you call the devil's advocate. Okay. The Republicans are the KKK. They are the ones that are racist that don't want anyone to be here other than their race, and all whites are not racist. Okay. But you had the Republicans that's within the Senate that's going to try to make way to bring the 16 to 1700s back. And they know that the 80-year-old black folks have passed out to teach the difference of history. That's why they want to deplete teaching our history. But if you look, September 11th will never be forgotten. If you look, everything that happened today, history is being announced every season. Okay. But we never heard about things like slavery or reparation, or even those kids from Katrina that was lost within the floods and stuff. No recaps of different catastrophes that from other cultures. So what we have to do expose Donald Trump and the Republicans need to be removed because it actually the Democrats is no different. They make the situation where we need, and I beg the Republicans for these the assistance, okay, and which it shouldn't even be that way. Democrats only leave us at a certain level where we're going to only stay poor and just ask for things, and that makes it more relevant for them to get resources. We don't need neither one of them. We need a new political party.
All right.
Thank you.
You're listening to Community Voice. It's Friday. Joined in studio by Devon Jones, DJ the Protege, Debo, Harvey. Phone lines are open 414-444-5250. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Thank you for being patient. Welcome to the program.
Good morning. You on air?
Hang on, DJ. Let me turn this down. I got y'all on tune in. Hang on one.
Yeah, I hear it.
Sorry about that. Let me take y'all. Hey, I don't even know where to start because I heard y'all talking about visual, and Keith, I'll push back on you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And kind of go back and forth on it a little bit. So even with the debate I'm going to go back to the Joe Biden debate. Just because the dude looks stronger, and I don't know if that was helpful for people. But again, what did he do? He had no substance. He had no character, none of that stuff. And if we want to talk about visual, let's go to the second debate that he just had with Kamala Harris. You don't think he looked foolish up there?
He looked foolish in both of them, though.
He looked foolish,
that's what I'm trying to say, PJ.
But
so,
Biden looked worse than
you.
he did in the first debate. That's the point I'm making.
We understand that.
But to what extent? Because when you start talking about Biden looked worse, Biden just looked like he couldn't get it together. But his character and everything else wasn't in question for me. He just was having one of those days. Like as they say with seniors, they sundown at some point. Maybe it was too late in the day for him, and he just couldn't pull it together.
And how did he look? And how did he look the next day? Oh, he looked like
he was on top of his game.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. So we like talk about. We got people that just don't say research. Now, I've always thought about this dude as a racist. He had some Kanye and some racist dude at a luncheon with him, right? That he came to the White House, right? And now they got a lady that's running with him. And I don't know if somebody really thought about what he said when he was talking about in Ohio, but he didn't say immigrants. What specific word did he use?
I thought he said alien, right?
No, he said Haitian.
Okay.
So what are Haitians?
Black people.
Exactly. And so he wasn't saying immigrants, he was saying Haitian. These black people are eating your animals, your pets. Now he's got this one white lady, and I just heard y'all say now, Martin Taylor Greene is saying that, and you know how extremist she is. And for her to go out and say this lady is extremist, why in the, I'm going to be careful with the words I use, so I don't want to get y'all in trouble. Why in the heck would you, his handlers and nobody is saying, do you think this is a good look to have this lady with you? And you heard what she said the other day, right?
Mm-mm.
She said they're eating humans. So now we got black people like zombies eating other human beings.
I mean, but Jeffrey Dahmer did that. So it's not too far out of the realm.
He was from Ohio.
But he was also white.
Oh, y'all.
Now, if they would have said
funny,
that
right?
chickens came up missing, you might put that on the Haitians. But no one reported any missing chickens. So if you ever been to Miami in the Haitian area, chickens got free reign. You see chickens everywhere, to the point that there's a sister who works for the Milwaukee Art Museum, and she's Haitian. And I said it, she kind of looked at me like, "Oh, that's stereotype." No, I knew I was in the Haitian neighborhood once I saw the chickens.
And then she gonna say, "Oh, you spell." What did they remember when they tiger fund across? And they said,
"Hey, George, your phone is rather choppy."
Yeah,
man.
you was breaking up.
I don't know if its positioning changed or something, but
I probably was moving it around. Give me better now. So remember when the white said that Tiger won the, I think it was the Masters or something, that it was from green?
No.
Nobody remembers that.
When he won the Masters?
Or one of them off tournaments, and the dude said, because you get to choose what bill you want.
Oh, yeah. And then they made chicken.
His buddy.
No, green.
He said chicken and greens.
Right. And
but
so
that was his friend. That was his friend. And I guess he was trying to make a joke, and the joke didn't go over. It didn't go over very well, right?
Yeah, I didn't take it as a joke. But now, and she was saying it's the place sounding like Parris or something else. The point I'm trying to make: this dude is racist, and anybody around him is racist. And for people, especially black people, that should have been offensive enough. And now you got Brian Donaldson, Tim Scott, and all these cats still trying to take up for that. I don't get it. Like you said, maybe it's something. When I said there's something wrong with them, maybe it's something wrong with me.
But George, and Keith kind of alluded to it on yesterday when he spoke to, it's not that they support him, it's that 70 million base that he's got, if not more, that they don't want to alienate.
Right.
And the potential possibility of getting a cabinet position or something. I mean, that's why they won't just tuck tail and run from him, because they want to stay in the party and they want to be in good graces with the party.
Well, what does that say? But that's what I'm trying to say, people. What does that say? Here's what I like about the two parties. Now, we said, hey, Joe, if we're going to win this thing, you got to step down, brother. They should have been saying the same thing up to him. Like, you got to step down. But they are so scared, and not maybe because of him, but because of his base. So I agree with you about that, because of his base. So what does that say about his base?
They support him.
They support him, and also that
they racist too.
I mean, yeah, well, we knew that. That's low hanging fruit, George. We know that they racist.
Yeah. But I guess when I hear y'all talk, y'all don't go there about what's going on really in this country.
Because but here's why I don't go there, George. First of all, you're not gonna move those people off their square.
Yeah.
So if you sit up here tilting against that windmill, you're just wasting energy. Got to focus on what you have to do.
And to Keith's point, how many people do you think actually change their position based on the two debates that's happened?
Very few.
Well, I guess, but not many.
Because most people already know where they are.
No, what'd you say, George?
I'll tell you this, Keith. If I really thought, and I'm gonna be honest with you, if I really thought, like some of these brothers that they're trying to get in the Republican Party, and if I thought they could have a chance on making a difference in that party, and I looked at them and I thought they had integrity and stuff, I might swing that away. So to me, it's about integrity, character, substance. And you're right, some of those people we ain't gonna be able to move off the square.
But you know
you
what?
Never know.
But George, what I've come to the conclusion of, and I've said this before, in my opinion, solely mine, Donald Trump represents what white folks have been wanting to say for years.
Right.
And he made it okay to just come on out and say it.
Mm-hmm. Right. I totally agree with you. So
that's all that is. That's who his base is.
And remember, the word was systemic, right? That was Wednesday's word. When you look at it, racism is baked into it. That's why when you talk about the critical race theory, that's an example where they're saying that there's systemic things. And those systemic things have everything to do with how some white people view the world, how they view themselves in the world. We have been dealing with white supremacy since our folks got here. It is, and it will be, right? And so understand that there are people that feel that way. Now, there's still a significant number of people who don't feel that way. And so I'm not tripping on the fact that people feel a certain way because you're trying to understand nonsense. Mm-hmm. And that's a frustrating exercise because you never will understand nonsense.
Not so much with them, Keith. And this point I always argue, not with them. Like DJ said, that's low-hanging fruit. I got that when it comes to them. Where my argument is, what George don't worry about is going to be 5 and 10%, but that's going up more. I watch the news every day, different channels.
You still breaking up, George?
My point is like, how do black people support this guy? Older black females, younger black females, older black guys, younger black guys. It amazes me that they are supporting this.
So, George, let me ask you a question. What is the percentage of black people? What is the percentage of black people that are solidly supporting Donald Trump? What do you think the percentage is?
Now, Keith, I don't know if those numbers are true or not.
What's the number you gave?
I said I heard they said like 20%. I don't know if that's true or not.
No.
What do you think it is?
It's no more than 10%. Now that's
what you really think.
And that's on. I think he's being gracious with that.
I think so too.
Yeah, I don't think.
I've been watching.
Now I think the issue, and this gets back to when you were talking about what people saw. Biden was losing support. One of the measurables that they use when they're going out doing data is what is the enthusiasm for the ticket, and that ticket was losing enthusiasm. What does that mean? People who would normally might have gone out and knocked on doors. People talked to their relatives about voting. That's not happening because, as DJ said, they weren't filling them. And that debate, and the debate was so alarming. Now, look, the Republicans are probably not off on this, that people in the White House knew that President Biden was dealing with diminished capacity. And so what they did, they limited. I think one of the examples was really glaring was the interviews that he did with the sister in Philly and with Earl Ingram here, where they wanted to put him in the best light. So they send questions. Hey, just ask him this, right? And because they were trying to protect them. So the Republicans are now saying that they want to amend the 25th Amendment to prosecute people who knowingly cover up for presidents who are incapacitated. It's really, really interesting because you go back to Woodrow Wilson. He had a massive stroke. His wife was basically running the White House.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of Ronald Reagan's term, it was basically Nancy Reagan, right? Who was, because Nancy Reagan from day one getting into the White House had an enormous amount of influence and control over what happened. The point I'm making is that, yeah, there are times, because Ronald Reagan had Alzheimer's, right? It was so, and that's the danger you have when you have older candidates, because was it Debo who said, or someone said, look, it ain't like you gonna get better. That's the unfortunate thing about aging.
And then just before you go, George,
yes, sir.
we have to, I think we have to acknowledge and really accept that Black people are not a monolith. So we do not agree on every single thing. And whenever somebody that is Black that has a platform that says something that we may not ascribe to, we like, how could they do that? Right. But you don't necessarily see that from other cultures. I think like we're the only one where we think that we all think alike and we all act alike, and we really and we don't. But then we acknowledge it when we want to.
But 90
and then when it's
90% is pretty close to mine.
See, George and Keith are a lot older than us.
Let me.
And I want to throw this one out. Yeah, no, I'm just saying you guys are older, but I know when I went to school, South Division High School, there was these guys called the skinheads.
Right.
Okay. So were you faced with that at all, DJ? Where it was like white guys who it was going to be a race war?
No, I was predominantly Black.
What about yourself, Keith?
My group was the Greasers.
Okay.
Because people at Washington High School, when I was in high school, remember, there was a group of Greasers, white boys similar to the skinheads, who went up and they had pitched battle at Washington High School.
So I only bring that up to say, those are your Proud Boys. Mm-hmm. Those are those same dudes that you went to school with that are now grown, and their philosophy and as to how they feel about us as people of color has never changed. Mm-hmm. So they've been there underlying all the time, just kind of laying there. But again, Trump made it okay to just come out and say, Black people this and this, that, and the other, and
exactly
a-hole countries, and you just say whatever comes to your mind, just say it.
But we all didn't grow up alike, and so there are some Black people that grew up in more affluent environments and more affluent neighborhoods.
That's not. I'm just saying that. But they've been in society all the time. His base,
no. What I'm saying
has been there, just rather dormant.
But no, I'm saying, but the Black people, like we're more like, to George's point, he's more confused on how is there a Tim Scott really saying the things that he's like? How is there Black people really saying this?
Is a Black Republican running in South Carolina,
right?
He is not going to be progressive,
and
because see, I could understand a Keith being like Tim Scott.
Hell no, I can't do that. I wouldn't go that far.
That was a good try. But
no, and I'm gonna tell you why I said that.
You're not gonna provoke me
because he went to PWIs.
Okay,
so that's why I said it.
Oh, is that why you said it?
Yeah, that's why he think like he thinks, Debo.
Oh, okay.
But
what was South Division when you went to South Division?
It was Black as hell. Terry Porter,
James
James Buchanan, Ricky Smith.
Yeah, but it was still a whole lot of whites.
We was in there thick. I had 13 cousins alone that went there.
Yeah, I mean,
Kid not that much older than you.
Yeah, he is.
But let me
you in your 60s.
I'm not in my 60s.
Terry Porter is in his 60s.
At some point,
Terry was a senior when I got there.
You gonna sit on the couch
Who you speaking to, George?
You.
Oh no, I'm a dim man all day long. I was gonna vote for Biden.
Biden is history.
Yeah, I was gonna vote for Biden if he was still in. He was still gonna get my vote because I cannot not vote and I can't vote for the other dude.
That's what I'm saying. So DJ, what was you gonna do if Biden would have still been in the race? I heard you say you weren't feeling either one, but I never heard you say if you was gonna still vote.
I always vote.
Okay.
But George, let me. We're talking about black folks. It's not a
You
monolith.
Republican, man?
I'm neither one.
Why
would I be a Republican?
That black folks are not a monolith. I think Saturday Night Live did a great skit. Al Sharpton was the host, and so they had a group of black people, and they asked the question. They were saying that Barack Obama had seen a precipitous drop in black support. He went from 98% to 97%. And so the question kept saying, they would ask, if Barack Obama did this, would that be a reason for you not to vote for him? And they were going, da, 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 da. No. My point is that in some ways, and again, I think monolith, I don't know if we should say monolith is like 100%. There's nothing that's 100%. But when you do it now, let's just be accurate. Donald Trump did better with black folks than most Republicans did prior to him. He got up around 8%, 9%. That means the other 90% is supporting the other guy. And I don't know why we're giving so much air and exposure to 10% if it's 10%.
Because it's different. It's just
different. Right.
It's just like when you stubbed your toe. That's only one toe that hurt. The other 9 is straight.
There's somebody calling you the N, and you good with that?
That's like what?
Calling you the N word, and you good with that?
That ain't the same.
Okay, I'm good with you. I'm still gonna vote for you, even though this is how you feel about me. I'm still good.
Okay.
I don't get it.
Well, sometimes some people look. They never underestimate the intoxicating power of power.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people will suspend all kind of judgment, character, integrity. The push for power is one of those things that I thought was very interesting. It was one of the temptations that Jesus resisted in the wilderness. This whole idea of power.
Yeah.
And what is the Roman axiom? Power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely.
And it collapses.
It does, but we're in a moment right now, and so when people are doing it, look, these people have access. That woman Loomer has more access. What happens? She has greater access to Donald Trump now than Tim Scott, than Marjorie Taylor Greene, and so that's what they're sitting up complaining about because of all the awful stuff he's ever said, and you never had a problem. I mean, he's gone. Talk about a bridge too far. This dude. All right, appreciate you, George.
Black people eating black people. That's the way to go. All right.
So is there anything that Barack Obama could have done that would have prevented you from voting for him? Call I'm going to be right after the break. We'll be right back.
Wait a minute, let me hit this drop, fellas. See if we can make DJ smile this morning. Here he come.
Now, back to Community Voice with your host, Keith Parris and Devon Jones, DJ The Protege.
I know, man. I was just kind of sitting up there. Oh, Keith Parris. DJ The Protege.
I'm a part of the family.
DJ
The Protege.
I'm a part of the family.
Emphasize.
Right. And the other dude, the other guy. Caller, welcome to the program.
Yes, sir. Good morning, Mr. Parris.
Good morning.
Thank you for taking my call. Assalamu alaikum to you, brothers.
Good morning.
Yes, sir.
Salam to you.
Listening to you, Mr. Parris. Yes, sir. Thank you for returning the greeting. Mr. Parris, you just said something that piqued my attention. You said there's nothing that's 100%. And I understand differently with regard to that, because I understand that there are things in chemical processes which has to do with distillation or extraction that measures or quantifies the level of whatever it is you may be testing. And beyond that, when you were talking about Mr. Biden, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan gave a Savior's Day address in 2020, the criterion, and he spoke about the unraveling of a great nation. And he also spoke in that address about the mentality or the mindset of the people who govern us in this world, and how that they will be confused and it will become blatantly obvious that they are confused. And that's why there's a lot of confusion. And to go back to 100% again, in the world that we live in, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad says, and the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad state that when there's 100% dissatisfaction, which we are under the current system of things and under the current expression of governance, that the entire populace of the earth exists under white supremacy, there is 100% dissatisfaction. And what 100% dissatisfaction produces is 100% change. And in the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, it states that there is, at every 50,000 years, there are two stars that appear, one red, one blue. And what they symbolize is universal change. And since we have been out of rulership for 50,000 years, and there's one more thing I wanted to go back to about that number, 6, 6, and 6. Those 3 sixes, when I didn't mean that the world was producing 6,000 years. What I meant is what I stated when I quoted the Holy Quran, that Allah says he created a world in 6 periods of time. And in the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, we are taught that we have not seen, Allah has not been present for 77 trillion years. So again, as I stated, that may be a pathway to probably begin to calculate with those 3 sixes. And I'll go after this. The 1 6 represents a period of time for rulership for particular people. One of the 6s represents a 600-year process it took to extract these people from the original man. And the other 6 represents a period of grace, that because a particular man exists, we have been given grace that we are undeserving of, because this man exists and we are not paying attention to this man. And that man is the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Now it's time for the Protege's perspective.
One of the many flaws that I've come to notice about myself is the unwillingness and sheer resistance to feeling vulnerable. The mere thought of vulnerability causes me to be more selfish, more isolated, more closed off, and less easygoing. To be vulnerable is to be less than. Acknowledging vulnerability provides the opportunity for manipulation to set in and deliver a falsehood of hope. Vulnerability can also be viewed as a weakness, although some may argue that the inability to acknowledge that feeling is more so a weakness than the mere feeling of vulnerability itself. There are two needs that some people embrace less than others. Everybody needs somebody, and everyone will need some help at one point or another. There are several facts of life. People will be born, people have to pay taxes. Whether it's their fair share or not, well, that's up to the government. People will die. And lastly, people will need a helping hand. To need help is inevitable, and to want help is a choice. To acknowledge your feelings is to be emotionally intelligent. Vulnerability provides an element of intimacy that makes me uncomfortable sharing and acknowledging with other individuals outside of myself. Through reflection, this is part of the reason why I'm more introverted than extroverted. Through reflection, this is why I have a small circle. Through reflection, this is why I keep a wall up. And through reflection, this is why I keep things bottled in. The cringe-worthy feelings of being vulnerable makes it much easier for me to keep people out rather than letting them in.
All right. Thank you, man.
Yep.
You mentioned one thing. There was one thing you forgot.
What?
We're going to be born. We're going to pay taxes. There's one more. We all going to do. We're going to die.
I said that.
I didn't hear that. Okay.
Yep.
Because one thing I do know, he dead.
Yeah.
Wow. There we go.
You want to get deep?
If you down me, I'm going to kill you.
That was a good one.
He a fool for that.
That was a good one. If you die on me, I'll kill you.
You down me, I'm going to kill you. Get up.
Dude is a fool for that.
That boy was blind.
I think the
Could
interview.
not see.
I think the interview of him watching the movie was even more crazier than some of the stuff we saw in the movie.
He was paralyzed and he could not walk.
He said, I wouldn't do nothing. I didn't do nothing to Ann that I wouldn't want nobody to do to my mama. I looked at dog. Like, dog really said that in the interview? Ike was a different dude.
Oh, I love Black people. I love all African people all over the world. We bring it to the table every chance we get. Caller, welcome to the program.
Yes. Good morning. I think what one of the key problems is they need to bring to the table that when it comes to Mr. Trump, yes, he's a racist, but nobody never realized and put out here he's hated by his own people more than Black people. Each person who pretty much tried to assassinate him was his own people. And nobody never really told the Proud Boys or any racist, what has a Black person done to you individually? We don't care how your mammy and your pappy raised you, your grandmammy or your grandpappy who was raised of a childhood because they was raised with a trash spirit and a bottom of a barrel mentality. What have they done to you personally? Nothing. So your beef ain't with Black people, though your beef is with the female dog that raised you and the daddy that breeded you. That's your real beef. Because when it comes to the laws and lessons of life, and when you get in life, them people don't give a damn if you lie, if you die, or if you even sugar honey iced tea on yourself. You got to take that up with the person who gave you your first and last name, because they're walking around here angry, jaded, bitter at the world, as somebody who did not do nothing to their illiterate asses. So so people need to ask them, what is your beef? It's with your mama and your pappy, because the people you married with did not have no take in impregnating your mama. So you got to take that beef up with the first and last name of your bloodline, because your beef ain't with us. And the only reason that y'all got this motivation is because when that I-49242, when people decided to be atheists and try to bring this thing back, and they were told to turn the other cheek, that's the only way. And the only reason why y'all say what you say, because I'm going to tell you right now, I don't believe in all that turn the other cheek. Whatever you do to somebody else out of your heart, you should have no problem with somebody doing it to you, because you did it because you wanted to, not because you had to. Have a good day.
All right.
I appreciate it.
Caller, welcome to the program.
Good morning. You're on air.
Good morning. How y'all doing this morning?
All right, yourself?
I can't complain. And one thing for sure, you can't go to jail if he did when you kill him.
Yep. That's a fact.
What did he just say?
I got what he was saying.
Yeah.
What did he say?
He said you can't go to jail if they killed you. Your mama killed you, you ain't going to jail. It's true.
Hey, I hope the vision that we all got is, let's put Pamela in office and see how this goes. We don't want to go backwards to the idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I thought Chinese eat dogs.
Well, if you had some chicken fried rice, you probably had too.
I have. Hey.
Hey, never see the delivery truck go to the Chinese restaurant.
Hey, I didn't know Fluffy tastes that good.
And this is all in all honesty. I worked across the street from a Chinese restaurant, and I never seen the delivery truck go over there.
Like I say,
I don't know when they deliver.
Don't lie to me.
Hey,
all right, because if I think it's chicken, just keep telling me it's chicken. It may be something else. Keep lying to me. Don't tell me the truth, because now it's gonna mess up my whole understanding.
Regular
it's gonna
business
mess
hours.
Up my whole understanding.
During regular business hours, we didn't
and all
close
this
till
time
8.
I could have been eating Fluffy.
Right.
Could have been.
Hey. Tastes like chicken.
Tastes like hey, just keep calling it chicken for me, because that's what's on the menu.
Keith, was that you that told the story about you went down south and you was working on your auntie's farm down there and everything, and you stayed down there the whole summer, and when you got ready to leave, there was a one chicken that you had got attached to?
Oh, I was a little guy.
Yeah. You had named him and everything. Yeah, you was like, well, where's so-and-so? You eating him?
No, I didn't eat him. Little two-piece. I didn't eat
two-piece. Yeah, that was
two-piece.
Where's two-piece
at? I remember when I was in Henry, Tennessee. And, you know,
up here, two-piece. I'm like, is that two-piece?
I was watching cartoons. You chase chickens and stuff with a gun.
Right.
So I went down there. I went down there and I grabbed a shotgun and I started chasing the chicken. Next thing you know, I was on the way back home.
They put you on the next thing smoking up.
Hey, my brother had to come back and pick me up. He had to cut his trip short. My granddaddy said, "Come get this boy."
Right.
Oh my God.
But I didn't know no better. That's all I saw was Toucan Sam chasing the chicken with the gun.
Mm-hmm.
The funny thing was my aunt said, because I'm crying. Wow. And my aunt said, "Cliff, go into town and get this boy some chicken because he ain't eating this chicken." No, I just played with him yesterday. I'm not gonna be Come on, man. You don't talk about a childhood trauma. Oh my God, that was crazy, man.
Did you get my name?
Well, I call him two-piece now. That's two-piece. We His last name was Biscuit.
Two-piece biscuit.
Two-piece biscuit.
Hot and spicy.
Yeah, I was talking to Spicy. I was talking that's crispy. I was talking to a preacher friend of mine, and he was preaching about the little boy who had his, when Jesus fed the multitude.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to be a black preacher now. Hey, Doc, here you go. Here's your message title, Doc. Sound like Wiki.
Nope.
Here it is, Doc. Here it is. How two-piece snack came a family feast.
How two-piece snack
became a family feast.
Wow.
We did the whole menu because when you get the family feast, and you feed a whole lot of folks. May two-piece rest in peace.
And now you can't run from chicken, can you?
Dude, man, chicken is my crack.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not going to. And we ate so much chicken when I was growing up. I said, I'd never eat chicken again. Wrong.
You can't get away
so
from
now
chicken.
You don't know if you ate that.
I know.
So now you don't know if you ate that chicken or not. Huh?
I know I didn't eat that particular chicken. No.
You had chicken fried rice before.
Well, see, now don't do that, man.
Yeah,
The very thing you just set up and said don't do.
Yeah, y'all brought it up. Man. Y'all brought it up.
But you're gonna ruin it for me, but I can't ruin it for you.
I just said keep lying to me.
Oh, and I had sesame chicken too.
Mm-hmm.
You had what?
Yeah, sesame chicken. They put the nice glaze on it and the sesame's on top with the fried rice.
Pepper steak.
Ooh.
No, I don't eat that pepper steak. It's too rubber. Some place I had it that was too rubbery. It was,
something wasn't right.
To me. Yeah, that was
that hind leg.
Yeah.
All right. And speaking of being Pope,
no, you ever seen a delivery truck at the Chinese restaurant?
I look. I'm gonna be looking now.
The one that I go to, the Emperor of China, yeah, I see the truck at Emperor
on the east side.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's about the only one.
Now, but speaking of Pope, I can tell you.
Now you talking about that one on 51st and Burleigh? Suspect.
No, I like the one on 51st and Burleigh. I go there.
Oh, well, see, you like Fifi, you like Fifi and Mimi.
I just had some of that yesterday.
I tell you, what's also good, great taste.
It was shrimp though, shrimp fried
right on North Avenue, right across the street from the McDonald's.
Yeah,
they got good food. But man, we were so poor. How poor were you? We were so poor.
How poor were you?
Man, well, you had to eat the chicken back.
No, y'all wasn't poor then. Y'all wasn't poor then because a friend of mine.
Oh, y'all didn't leave it on. I thought it stayed on the breast.
No, not when they used to cut up chickens back in the day.
You only get 8 pieces when you cut the chicken up right. We used to get 10.
My mama got. I guess it wasn't. She made sure I got
10 out of there. You cut that back twice. That's another piece.
That ain't nothing but a piece of bone.
It was chicken.
It's a meat.
It was still chicken.
It's a little meat in there.
He
talking about they was poor. I got some friends, man. they eat chicken feet. Now, what is that?
Well, the Mexicans,
man, well, people will put chicken feet in for soup.
No,
that's what my grandfather
frying
did.
Chicken feet.
Man, y'all is too country for me, man.
No, they was po.
So they like crispy.
Yeah, they fried chicken feet.
That just sound country.
Well, what about pig snoot on the grill?
The
pig snoot on the grill.
I ain't never heard of pig snoot.
Tutor?
The snoot.
I didn't know I liked turkey tails so bad.
My buddy used to talk about pig feet. He called them trotters.
Wow, trotters.
And look, in the great state of Mississippi, they eat everything on the pig but the oink.
Yeah.
Hey, I remember the man at African World Festival selling barbecue pig feet. That man couldn't keep them. Right. He couldn't keep them.
I used to be when I was a kid, I was a big pickled pig feet fan.
Yeah, my wife loved pig feet, pig ears.
Yeah, dude.
I remember being a kid for a family
you.
reunion, and like I said, my grandmother, she was born and raised in Americus, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
So back then it was dirt roads.
Mm-hmm.
I would say within the past 15 years, maybe 20, they just got paved roads.
Wow.
And my cousin was like, "You want some pig feet?" And I said, "What?" And I was super little at this time. I was probably about 6 or 7. I was like, "Pig feet?" I'm like, "No, I don't know pig feet. What is that?" And everybody laughed at me because, like I said, that part of the state is super country. Dan Reeves was the football coach. Is
Jimmy
from
Carter.
around that
Jimmy
area.
Carter.
Yep, Jimmy Carter's from around that area. So
Plains, Georgia.
super country. And I just remember the first time me hearing about pig feet, and I was befuddled.
Did you eat them?
Oh, I'm from the city, man.
Well, you say he offered them to you. I just didn't know if you had ate them or not.
Mm-mm.
Well, my mama used
Like
to
I always
say,
say, you eat
if
with
you
your eyes
get-
first.
If you get hungry enough, I said,
Right.
Mama ain't that hungry. Because, me and my mother, now you talking about a pitched battle of wills, try to get me to eat green peas. Family that went upstairs and went to bed, did homework and went to bed. I'm still sitting at the table. She wouldn't let me get up.
Yeah,
I wasn't going to eat them.
Green peas is nasty.
Oh, my God. It's like one of the worst ever.
I thought I was bad because I would stick them under the table. I tried everything.
Oh man, it was, and I'm not like a really willful kind of person. There's some people they stuck on stubborn, but in this, mama, this is a non-negotiable.
I'm standing up for my
I'm standing up for my rights as a kid. I don't have to eat peas.
I mean, you eat with your eyes first.
You do.
And if it don't look appealing, then
But don't let that deceive you, because sometimes you be going like, man, that looking, then you be going like, damn, that's good.
That's the way I was with guacamole. I just was like, I ain't eat that. And my cousin made something. She just put a little on the chip for me, and I tried it, and it was off the chain.
You eat avocado?
Yeah, it's guacamole, same thing.
Yep. Carla, welcome to the program.
Not I.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, ring the bell. Ring the bell.
Wait. Let's get this here.
It wasn't that I was ducking no smoke. Yeah, I've been quite busy, and I couldn't get in, man.
Oh, come on, man. You get in. Yeah, man, we left the line.
Okay.
We left the line open for you, man. It was just kind of going like, and people going like, "What up, man? Where Meech?" And we going like, "He done went black, dude." We don't, in the CIA, when you disappear, they call it going black. He went black. We ain't seen dude.
And there was a Meech sighting, if you will, over at the other station, but you didn't call us.
No, I called one time.
Damn, that's what you want?
No, I called Tory Lowe one time. But let me explain this to you, man. I would like to address DJ's his poetry this week. I gotta agree with you on most of that, but I tell you something, brother. The strong survive and the weak get eaten alive. The strong must feast off of any prey that they can.
The strong survive.
Well, and the weak get eaten alive. The strong must feast off of any prey that he can. Well, I was branded by the beasts and said at the hustler's feast well before I was a man. I understand what you're saying. That's good. But I don't like to give too much credence to vulnerability because if you preach that or teach that, then people, they have a way of just accepting being vulnerable. But anyway, on that debate thing, since I haven't addressed it all week, I will say this right here, that I think Donald Trump he overextended his explanations. I was in Mr. Jones' house one time, and I thought I was being slick, and I was talking to a guy, and I added something into the conversation that didn't even need to be there. You know what Jones said? He said, "Man, why you have to say that? Unnecessary. Why you even have to say that?" And I thought I was actually giving my guy a compliment, and I thought I was being slick at the same time. But my guy didn't receive it that way. And Jones, and when I walked out that house, I said, "He's right. I didn't even have to say that." Trump, when he talked about the food, now if he would have said allegedly, or he didn't even have to say that about the dogs and the folk eating up the people, because that's a segue for people to do what they doing.
Right.
Other than that, I looked at that lady and she put me, I guess she was probably being groomed by the Obamas because she looked just like Michelle and carried herself like Obama. Okay. And that's not a good thing for me because I've seen what we've been through by trusting him. And then I seen what Chicago did when they grabbed Emmanuel. That's why I kept saying, people, why y'all fooling with Biden? We seen this in the playbook before. Somebody coming from under Obama in Chicago thinking they was going to get a play. And guess what happened? He treated them worse than the dailies. They was glad to run him out there. But they figured, he was with Obama. And Rob Emanuel, he treated them worse than the dailies. They couldn't help but to run him out. And the same thing we had here with Joe Biden. Joe Biden has crumbled. I don't care what we say. If we just look at what's going on around us, we know we're in trouble. Now, if we want to just be, and guess what? With Donald Trump, we might be in trouble too. But because of my huh?
I said might be.
Well, yeah, we might. I don't know if we will be, but I know we definitely gonna be in trouble.
So let me ask you this, brother. Let me ask this question. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate Donald Trump's performance in the debate Tuesday night?
I'd probably give him about a 6. I'd give him about a 6, but I'm not gonna give her 100% though because she didn't do nothing. She let him smash himself.
Right.
She didn't do nothing.
Right.
Right, but she didn't do nothing that was overwhelming that would make me say, man, that old lady. She gave a compelling story about some woman being in the parking lot and gonna bleed out. You know, listen to this, man. I understand the whole concept of abortion. I've seen, and you might not like when I say these things and bring up some of these things, but I've seen stories where a girl might be in a situation trying to get some money and she on a date and a condom break, okay? And now she might be impregnated. And she got to go and expel that situation before it begins to grow because she not feeling the way she felt before she turned to date.
Plan
I
B.
understand that about incest.
Plan B.
I understand. Well, Plan B don't always work, brother.
Yeah, it does.
It always works.
Yeah. If you get
man,
there
you
soon
better
enough,
stop it. Let me tell you something.
if you get there soon enough, it does work.
Hold on. Well, sometimes you have to take 2 of them.
Well, but it still works.
Well, yeah, okay, to that I'll give you, but sometimes just one ain't gonna do it. Look here, man. Listen, some people have survived the Plan B and attempt abortion. Those are the abortion survivors. They out speaking for people to not get abortions, and they call us the abortion survivors. And I mean, it's thousands of them, and they protest against abortion. But listen. She gave that story, and that's what we running on right. That's what they running on right now. Abortion, okay? That doesn't bother me. And most of the ladies that's doing it, man, they can't even get no period no more. They don't even get no period. Why is they even in the fight?
Well,
they just
okay,
in the way.
but I think it's a bigger issue.
I mean, you can't get no period no more either, Meech.
But
I ain't never had now.
I think it's a bigger issue.
I ain't never
here.
had now.
But they can say the same thing to men.
Al might have had one because he's so sweet. You get diabetes.
Okay.
You get diabetes. He's so sweet.
Hey.
Yeah.
All right, Meech, man, we got to roll, man.
Let me.
Nobody don't need to be
rude. I think that there's been a pivot.
No, when my man asked, hold on, when my man throw the dart at me, you didn't say nothing. He said, I don't get no period no more.
We don't get no period.
Not here to defend
why would you even say that though?
The same thing that you said about the women.
Right.
They don't.
You said because a woman
that they shouldn't have an opinion on that.
Hold on, brother.
We men, we can't talk about that.
But I think the issue becomes, and I'm glad that we've kind of moved to this. It's not so much about abortion as it is the right of a woman to control what happens with her body. And it doesn't matter if you can have a period, you don't have a period. Does it stop with abortion? Are there other things out there? And so I think that's what we're talking about. Men have autonomy. We have autonomy and control over our bodies. There's no law out there that is directly directed at us based on our genitalia and our ability to produce children. That's only impacted. That only impacts women. That does not impact men.
I agree with you, but check this out, Keith. when we was kids, you must realize something. That the woman's right to choose came out right in the in actually the 80s. That word that's how they changed the game. And then when you look at how abortion came about, a white woman accused a black man in Texas of raping her to get this baby aborted. And then the judge made her carry the baby. The term the baby was as white is cotton. Okay, it's clean cotton. So I want you to understand something. When we get behind that, the woman's right to choose. She didn't have a right when it came down to the COVID shot. They sent her butt home from the post office. They fired a whole bunch of them out the hospitals. She didn't have a right.
But
So
but people have lost their jobs because they refuse to take the flu shot. If you're in a situation where you're exposed or can expose someone to a communicable disease, there's a health reason for that. And then that's what I found amazing. But then the same people who were saying that a woman shouldn't have any control over their bodies didn't want anything in terms of mandatory masking. They didn't want anything in terms of, and there was no mandatory vaccine for the country. The only people that vaccine was mandatory for hospital workers.
I think it's good points on both sides. But here's another. Then I'm gonna get out of the way.
Liabilities that come into there too.
Yeah. Listen, I'm gonna get out of here. But here's one right here, Keith. It's all right for me to get in. I mean, it's not all right for me to get in an argument with my woman and elevate her anxiety or push her down and she lose the baby. I get charged with a manslaughter, voluntary manslaughter. She can go in and have get ready and abstract the baby and kill the baby. She gets charged with nothing.
Well, but that's the issue. And I don't agree with laws that confers personhood on fetuses, and if the woman dies or the baby dies as a result of a woman, that you be in charge with a double homicide. I never agreed with that law. I don't know how we confer so much personhood and humanity on someone that's not even there.
It still falls in that same same deal.
I mean, yeah.
No, it is.
I mean, yeah, you do have a real solid point with that.
What do you mean?
If you push a woman down and she or raise her anxiety just by hollering and screaming at her, and that baby die.
Yeah, I mean, somebody could be liable. It could be liable for that. Yeah.
Well, why would you make somebody liable for that?
I mean, that's the way the law is set up, brother.
Yeah. I know.
But she can go in and abstract she can abstract the child from you. I mean, your child that you planted in her, and it's okay.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I hear the music, and Debo already chasing me off the stage. I appreciate him giving me a few more seconds. But guess what? I extended myself like I didn't have to do. Like Mr. Jones checked me that one day. Hey, man, and he was right. I added somebody he didn't have to add. I'm out.
That's why he's my hero. All right. Just for all the folks who wanted to know where Meech is, he's back. You're listening to Community Voice Call. I see you. I'm going to grab you right after the break. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for a new place?
All right, welcome back to Community Voice. And as you've heard, the Granville Business Improvement District is doing Harvest Fest. That'll be tomorrow, September 14th, and Sunday, September 15th, from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. at 8633 West Brown Deer Road. Tomorrow, the 14th, we have the Tina Turner Experience starring Miss Brandy Phillips. But then on Sunday, we had the Michael Jackson Experience starring Rico as Michael Jackson, and we're very fortunate to have online with us. Rico, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing real good out here running the streets.
Running the streets?
Yeah, I'm trying to get ready for Milwaukee, man. I got to be prepared.
Where you from, man?
I'm from Chicago.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it ain't that much running. just run up the way.
Right,
So you do the Michael Jackson Experience. What attracted you to Michael Jackson?
Well, I've been paying tribute to Michael Jackson for over 35 years. So I grew up as a fan, and when the whole Thriller thing came out and all that happened, I was one of those people in a red jacket out there moonwalking, man. And I said I'm gonna do this for a little while, and here we go. 35 years later, I'm still moonwalking.
Wow. I think without question, Michael Jackson is the greatest performer of all time.
Oh God, yes.
I mean, so how do you, understanding that's the GOAT, how do you make sure that you're giving him the proper homage based on just his stature in entertainment?
Well, when I do my performance, I make sure I give people a touch of what they was used to seeing Michael do with the Bad, the Billie Jeans. You got the red jackets, the glove, and I give them all that Michael Jackson nostalgia stuff, and then I throw a little bit of my own stuff in there just to give it that little zing, because we don't want to give you a exact Michael show, because we've seen the best do it already. So I don't want to give you a repeat what he already done. I want to give you what he's done and a little touch more.
We were yesterday, someone had called in. We were talking about James Earl Jones and his voice, but someone called in and mentioned Vincent Price and Vincent Price and Thriller. So when you think about what you know about Michael Jackson, I don't know if we can do this. What would be for you 5? Can I use the word great Michael Jackson songs? Really great.
Oh boy, I would say "I'll Be There." I'm gonna go back. Okay. I'll Be There. Thriller. Billie Jean is always a great song to do, and I enjoy Dirty Diana too, just because of the fire that's in Dirty Diana. And then Man in the Mirror, because that song even is still, is when you look at the world today, we still need to make that change.
It's amazing. I love reading. I love movies, and sometimes you do something and it's just it's a seminal piece of work. You don't need to do anything else. Again, because I love literature so much. Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. He only wrote one book, yet that book is one of the more consequential books. How difficult do you think it was for Michael Jackson to do arguably one of the top-selling albums of all time in Thriller, and then you do Bad? And Bad, right. Well, Bad is a great album.
Yeah, it really is. And I think when he did Thriller, I mean, I know what he wanted to do, which was make great work. Mm-hmm. But you really never know what's going to come out of that work, once you do it, because it's kind of like it was aligned. It was aligned with everything that was going on at that time. So I mean, I think that's what made it a great album at that time. It was great work, but then like I say, in 82, 83, 84, I mean, it was just like it just blew up because we needed that at that time.
Yeah, I just think, and and again, I am not. It's not like people. My opinion really matters, but I thought musically, I enjoyed Off the Wall, because I just think that Off the Wall was kind of like one of the great albums, man. Musically.
It hit a lot more R&B hit to it that, with The Rock With You and then, Get on the Floor. All those songs was really great songs. And it was, I feel the same way. I thought it was even hitting harder than Thriller.
Yeah, I no, and Thrill is a great album. I mean, I'm not going to. It's amazing because the two greatest selling albums of all time is what the Eagles' greatest hits, and then Thriller, and they go back and forth depending on. I think last summer was it Don Henley died, so people started buying Eagle albums, but Thriller is just. And then of course it was groundbreaking because of the video.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Because Michael, when he started making those videos to Thriller album, I mean, he set a new standard for music and for making short films. And even today, people still trying to catch Michael.
So you'll be with us on Sunday.
Yes, I'm looking forward.
And I don't want to, because but what can people expect?
I mean, they just expect to hear great Michael Jackson music and kind of like just go back. If you grew up with Michael and the Jacksons back in the day, the songs in my show, I'm gonna give you a little bit of a lot of that stuff, and it's gonna bring back some memories.
Man, I appreciate you and look forward to having you here in the city. We're speaking with Rico. He does the Michael Jackson Experience that will be this Sunday at Granville's Harvest Fest, September the 15th. It starts at 1 to 5, so it'll be between 1 and 5, so people get you. And you got beautiful weather, man.
That's right. Oh man, it's gonna be wonderful. We're gonna be like hee. We're hooking it up. Then we get to see Brandy. Brandy gonna do a great job with Tina Turner, and we're looking forward to that as well. I'm thinking about coming down for that as well.
All right, man. Well, hey man, thank you for spending a couple of moments with us.
All right, I appreciate it.
And we look forward to having you in the city on Sunday.
All right. Look forward to meeting you.
All right.
All right, take care.
Who's that, man?
That's Rico.
That's Rico.
And Rico will be doing the Michael Jackson Experience September 15th at Granville Harvest Fest, 8633 West Brown Deer Road, under the tent.
You know what I heard about him? They said that boy good.
He good.
Say good.
He
man.
good.
Say you think you're looking at Mike.
Wow. Okay.
You dance, DJ? You dance?
You never did the moonwalk?
No.
Isn't that Jeffrey Daniels said that he invented the moonwalk? Jeffrey Daniels from Shalimar. Yeah. But Keon went back and found a tape of a dancer back I think in the 30s.
Yep.
Who was actually doing the moonwalk. So
probably didn't call it the moonwalk.
They probably didn't call it the moonwalk. Yeah.
Keith, we got a caller that has held through the interview and wanted to just chime in. Can we take that caller?
Sure.
Caller, thanks for your patience. You're there.
Good morning.
Let's try it again.
Caller, thank you for your patience. You're on there. Caller.
He wanted to chime in. I guess he did not hold completely through the interview.
I just put it on hold. Yeah, he put us on hold.
Oh God, what was it? Was it head office? Oh yeah. Thank you for that. The 26th or 28th. Today is the 26th anniversary of the death of Tupac Shakur.
Is it?
Yeah. Thank you, Carvey.
How long will it mourn me?
1992. Tupac. Man.
Yeah, that's a whole show.
That's a whole show, man. Tupac was in one of my favorite movies.
When he got killed?
Mm-hmm. One of my favorite movies.
You missed all of the Pac heyday stuff, man.
I was 3.
I will be honest with you.
He wasn't even a twinkle then.
Right.
I missed a whole lot of Pac.
Said he got a portrait of Tupac.
Okay.
You still got the pic.
I got a picture of Tupac that we bought from a street vendor in New York, and got it because I got that picture, that famous jazz picture of all the jazz musicians. Right. I got that one, and then I got a nice charcoal of Dr. Martin Luther King.
I have a picture of me and Too Short.
Really?
I thought I was going to say Tupac. Yeah, but Too Short.
Okay.
I lived in Oakland.
Okay.
actually Emeryville, which is right outside of Oakland.
Mm-hmm.
Worked in El Cerrito.
That would have been a great place to grow up in, man. Oakland. Well, I know he had his rough spots, but I mean, in terms of culturally,
I don't know what he talking about. I ain't never heard nothing.
No. When you think about culturally, what Oakland represents, that's what I'm saying. I'm not.
How they be talking about California? I don't even want to visit.
Man,
You never been to Cali?
Mm-mm.
San Francisco's gorgeous.
I remember when I was right around the time I actually moved back to Milwaukee. There was a kingpin by the name of Felix Mitchell.
Okay.
That they never got him for drugs, but they got him for tax evasion. And I remember that evening they was like, Felix Mitchell has agreed to testify. He's turned state's evidence. And Felix was found dead.
Ooh.
Within 2 days of that newscast. And I remember there was a big church right there on San Pablo and Powell Street, right there in Emeryville, just outside of Oakland, maybe a couple blocks outside of Oakland. But I remember the newscaster said the mourners look sadder today than they did the day King died.
Wow.
But yeah, man, you talking about limousines and Rolls Royces, and man, it was crazy. I'd never seen anything like it.
You know, the backstory of the making of the movie The Mac was there was and Keanu, he knew there was these brothers, they were gangsters. And there was also the Black Panther Party. So they're between the Black Panther Party and the gangsters trying to get this movie made. As a matter of fact, in the scene where they do the players' ball, a lot of those dudes are real pimps. It's like in Cooley High. Some of those dudes are real gangbangers, right? That he put in the movie. And so, but they were talking about the back and forth, and both groups are trying to extort the movie maker in terms of being able to do it. But Oakland, man, look, Oakland turned out the Black Panther Party. I mean, Oakland gave us the Hawkins.
Mm-hmm.
It was Tupac was there for a little bit.
Ant Banks, Too Short.
Mm-hmm.
Digital Underground.
Yeah. What was them other two boys? EPMD, wasn't they out there?
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah,
who did Captain Saberho? They were from the Oakland area too, right?
I wanna be sad.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember who that was, man.
Yeah.
We got to call her again.
Somebody said something to me one time. They was doing this whole Captain Saberho. That is a real song. So, and he was going, and she said to me, "Did you ever think the hoe didn't want to be saved?" I said,
Caller, welcome to the program.
Good morning. You're on there.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. Good morning.
Good morning.
So I did want to chime in with some of the commentary that was said earlier. And I will say, I don't agree with Meach a lot, but I will say he did have a point when, it was all about, my body. And then all of a sudden when it came to the jab, oh, no, we're not doing it. It's not my choice, my body. So that was the frustrating thing about that. And also, what I feel like in this state, especially in this city, is that people enjoy the covert racism versus the overt racism. And what I mean by that is that, okay, well, cool, we'll tell you that publicly we're not going to do anything specifically for Black people, but all the while, I'm going to do something for the Pacific Islanders, another tune of $46 million. And to buttress that point is that no other community has worked yourself to the polls, no effing, no voting. No other community has that. And they pander and pander and pander. And we're okay with that. We're okay with the cities being in the dire situation that it is. Education is trash in this city and everything like that from a local state to a national state. And then we're just okay with it. As long as we have that feel-good feeling that our team got into office, all the while that neither one is willing to give us anything. And we're not willing, some of us are not willing to go outside of that. And I'm not saying go to one side to the other. I'm talking more or less your third party. And so I think if more and more people will start coalescing to the third party and hearing them out, most of them don't even know. And it's just like, well, my team. So again, after the election, if your team gets in there, its interest rate's still going to be high.
Is groceries still going to be high? Are Americans going to be able to afford a $400 emergency? 75% of them. Is that still going to be happening? Yes, it will be. But again, as long as I had that feel good feeling, it's all good. So I'm really pressing to the people in our community, wake the flip up. Some people are too TFG. They're not going to get it. It is what it is. Like Harriet Tubman said, I could have saved more if they realized they were a slave. I just need our community to wake up and start coalescing together and start getting some change. And if you're not willing to give us tangibles or have a change in our community, we don't need you. We don't want you. Now I'm going to leave my point there.
I appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
I don't think I think it was kind of dispelled that Harriet Tubman said that. But we get
the sentiment.
Yeah.
You know, and I think you could apply that today, that there are people who are enslaved, and do you really want to be free? Because freedom, and my mother used to say this all the time, with freedom comes responsibility.
And loneliness.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, loneliness.
Yeah, man. Uncertainty. Yeah, dude.
I want to be free. You sit up here dissuading me from wanting to be free. You's gonna be lonely.
Hey, when we hey, we always talk about the glory of freedom, but we can't ignore those dark sides of freedom as well. Just like we talk about the civil rights movement, we talk about the glory of it, but people lost their lives. A lot of pain, a lot of bloodshed, a lot of tears.
All right, man. We didn't get to a whole lot of stuff we wanted to get to today, didn't we? Hey, Deshaun Watson, I watched him play last week. I'm with the people in Cleveland. Why y'all playing this dude? Oh, you paid him $240 million. That's why you playing him. Because dude is woo.
I don't want to kind of say it, but it might be a little karma. But
and he caught another case.
But that was back when the fire was hot. Right. So I guess they want their money for themselves. They like, no, I'm not sharing my money with y'all. I want my own money.
All right, man. What you got up for the weekend?
Just being with my mom and my grandma.
Yeah. Debo?
Same old.
I will be the morning speaker at Antioch Baptist Church. I'm sorry, the historic Antioch Baptist Church this Sunday at 11 o'clock. Going over for my good friend,
Reverend 21st in Congress.
Yes, Reverend Pastor Victor Mans, and we'll go over there. So again, that Carby. Nothing.
He headed to the Windy City.
Oh, you heading you going to Chi-Town? Down the way.
Ooh.
All right.
Take the bulletproof vest with you and the helmet.
Good Lord willing, creek don't rise. Hope to talk to everybody on Monday. Y'all have a safe weekend. And as always, go from this place in peace.